It's very unusual in homelessness to have a charity or a service where you come for your appointment and then there's an immediate impact on your life when you leave. And I love being able to kind of take someone's stuff and be like, okay, you're done, see you later. And it's just immediate. They don't have to wait for 3 months, they have to fill in a bunch of forms. Like, they just get to come here, leave their stuff, know that it's safe, entrust it to us as a team, and then they can leave and be a kind of an unjudged person again, because the only reason anyone is identified as a homeless person is because they carry everything they own with them. I more or less came up with the idea because I worked in day centres and night shelters with the homelessness community before this. And a lot of the questions we got asked were around storage. And so I started doing some research into the availability of storage and the length of storage and the requirements for storage. And I was just really shocked that other than Fair Store, there's nothing. We began in a very small little 20-person kind of pilot project up in Islington, and we were offered this space down here for our kind of second stage of growth. So we're probably storing, I would say, 80 people's stuff in various forms, documents, really quite valuable stuff. We've got stuff that is in loose items, stuff that's just suitcased, and we're looking to kind of enter the next stage. The whole thing, from sort of Googling through to actually keeping clients' belongings on a regular long-term basis, has probably been about 9 months. But we're now in we're now in a year and a half, and we've got nearly 100 people staff. We've had over 250 referrals to the project from over 50 or 60 different referral agents. National organisations have contacted us, like Shelter and Crisis and St Mungo's. So we work with some big five. We have an end limit of year and a half, purely because we work with the referral partner who refer into us. So if we work, for example, with St Mungo's, they'll refer a client into us, and we'll say, look, you have to work with them on the stuff that you're paid to do: housing, education, employment, rehabilitation. We will try and encourage them to access services that we know about, and our team is trained to signpost to those things, to those services. But what we will do is take their things on the kind of, not the guarantee, but the hope that the referral partner will work while their stuff is in storage to get them housed. The reason we do it by appointment is for that exact reason. So we always have 2 staff members down here for our safety and for the client safety. And they always know that the only people opening the doors to the unit will be staff from StreetStorage. So no one else has access to this building. We have 2 security cameras, we have padlocks, we have an alarm system. So it's all very respectful of the stuff that they're bringing in and the worries that they might have around leaving that. So we have, out of the 80 clients currently stored, 23 of them are currently working. I mean, it's slightly changed with the COVID pandemic, and a lot of people have lost their work as a result of the pandemic. However, before that, we had people working shifts, we had people working HS2, we had people working on construction, we had office workers, we had someone who was doing a degree. You know, we've got people in all different periods of their life and doing different things, and they just happen to be in a phase of their lives where they are on the street. That's why you say people experiencing homelessness. You don't say homeless people as much as you can, even though it's a lot more words, because it's just a phase. It's not who they are. It's not, you know, that's not all about who they are. So we've had some people who have literally worked 3 shifts and kept a bag with us for a day and a half. And we've had people like this guy down here, who is definitely a 2-yearer. So he has not been seen since he dropped off his stuff. So we'll be contacting his referral agent just to check in. I've seen him on the streets myself. I know him personally, but he doesn't need it. You won't believe some of the stuff that you'll hear. Like, I've heard people who've had their stuff torched, had their stuff stolen, had their stuff urinated on. But also, it's not just that. It's if you're working shifts, how can you turn up to a shift on a construction site or at, you know, a retail unit, whatever you're doing, even an office, with all your stuff? It's just so immediately identifiable, and immediately judgment falls upon you for being different because you don't have somewhere to keep your staff. And I think storage is one of the one things that is forgotten about by the sector. And it's so important because also we often use this line that we're a bridge between being on the street and being housed. Because obviously, if you can imagine, you've had your stuff with you your entire, period of homelessness, and then you're told to leave it in a room with a key and then go away for the day. That's really detached from where you've been to your stuff. Your stuff becomes part of who you are, and it becomes part of everything you gather at the end of the day. And whenever you're on the move, you're on the move with your stuff. And so we act as quite a nice bridge, like a nice introduction where they can leave their stuff with us here for however long period of time. And then when and if they move into housing, it's less of a huge jump from the streets to the housing, because that's a huge jump for a lot of people. It's the physical and mental worry of having to put it somewhere safe and have it with you all the time. So even for people who aren't being judged for being on the street and who actually go about life quite resiliently and quite well, they still get the chance to kind of bring their stuff in, and you might not need to carry your passport and important documents around with you. If you still want to keep a bag with you on the street, you're more than welcome to. But if we can take anything that makes you feel safer as a person, then that's what we're here for.